Well, this is good. The man charged with murder of retired St. Louis police captain David Dorn during looting. Charges were announced against a 24-year-old Stephen Cannon on Sunday. So that's a good thing. They caught the guy. I mean, he cut his hair because he knew that, jig was up and he was going down. Kim Gardner. I don't like her, but St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner announced on Sunday that Stephen Cannon has been charged with first-degree murder, first-degree robbery, first-degree burglary, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. Yeah, this kind of guy you bring home to mom and make chicken soup for. According to the charging documents, surveillance video showed a Pontiac G6 pull up alongside the pawn shop and multiple people from the G6 enter the store. The video showed Cannon exiting the store, walking towards the Pontiac just before Dorn arrived. Once Dorn arrived, Cannon was seen approaching the corner with a gun in his hand. It is apparent that surveillance at the time these shots were fired, Cannon was the only person standing on that corner. So there's that. To the main story. Minneapolis City Council members intend to defund and dismantle the police department. Now, I got to show you this tweet because it's quite interesting. If you can pull it up right here. Bring it over. This is on CNN. So Allison Cameron asked her, what if in the middle of the night my home is broken into? Who do I call? The answer may surprise you. Actually, if you're listening to my content, the answer will not surprise you. Bender. Yes, I hear that loud and clear from a lot of my neighbors. That you would call the police. Okay. And I know, and myself too, and I know that comes from a place of privilege. What? What? What the hell is it tweeting? So 9 members of the Minneapolis City Council on Sunday announced they intend to defund and dismantle the city's police department following the killing of George Floyd and many other people in the city of Minneapolis. We committed to dismantling police as we know it in the city of Minneapolis and rebuild it with our community new model of public safety that actually keeps our community safe. Council President Lisa Bender told CNN. I am not a fan of police, but I know for a fact that once you dismantle the police and you put in this public safety model to keep our community safe, what kind of power do they have? Do they have arresting power? And if they tell you you're under arrest, you're like, you're not police, screw you. See, what people don't understand is that everyone's ire is towards the police in Minneapolis, and rightfully so. However, once you institute a new policing program, all the ire will shift towards them. They are the elite. They are the ones with special privileges. So you think this is going to make everything better? If you do, you may be a liberal and completely certifiably insane. Let's see. With 9 votes, the city council would have a veto-proof supermajority of the council's 13 members, Bender said. Sunday's pledge also acknowledged that the current system is not working. We need to listen, especially to our black leaders, to our communities of color for whom policing is not working, and to really let the solutions lie in our community. Why is it not working? It's not the police's fault. Maybe it's a end result of things not working. But why? See, we can't actually ask that question. Why? Because you'll be deemed racist, sexist, homophobe if you actually do. So you immediately get removed from the questioning and answering phase of this idea that they have, and it's stupid. Again, yes, the police in Minneapolis need some help. They need some reform, but throwing the baby out with the bathwater for just totally getting rid of it. There's a story back in the 60s, I think it was, when the Montreal police in Canada, in Quebecois, they went on strike. All hell broke loose. So you think you dismantle the police? What are you going to... There's that saying, nature abhors a vacuum. Or maybe it likes it. So in this case, you remove the police, you create a vacuum. And what happens? Chaos. You really think it's all going to get better? That they're just going to... People in the community are going to go, yeah, all right, cool. Police are gone. Let's be cool until the new system is set up. Right. Pressed for details on what dismantling might look like, Bender told CNN that she was looking to shift police funding toward community-based strategies. What does that mean? And that the city council would discuss how to replace the current police department. Replace. See, the devil is in the details. The idea of having no police department is certainly not in the short term. Oh, okay. Bender and other council members analyzed the nature of 911 calls by constituents and found most were for mental health, and EMT and fire services. The 9 council members made the announcement at a community rally in Minneapolis. News of the announcement was first supported by the appeal. Calls for the defund or outright abolish police departments have grown, especially by the liberal Twitterati and the idiotic, stupid Hollywood elite. And because they have, come on, they get their own private security. They don't need you. Yeah, sure, get rid of the, police. We don't need them until they need them. City council members had previously said they would take steps to dismantle the police department, including Bender, who tweeted earlier this week, yes, we are going to dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department and replace it with a transformative new model of public safety, which doesn't answer the goddamn question. What does that mean? Yeah, we're going to institute Sharia law, essentially. Jeremiah Ellison, by the way, is Keith Ellison's really radical son. I guess the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. We are going to dismantle the MPD, and when we're done, we're not simply going to glue it back together. We're going to dramatically rethink how we approach public safety and emergency response. Again, doesn't answer the goddamn question. And of course, everyone's favorite low-rent Justin Trudeau, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry was booed by protesters Saturday night when he refused to commit to defunding and abolishing the city's police force. A spokesman for the mayor said in a statement that he was unwavering in his commitment to working with Chief Madeira Arredondo toward deep structural reforms and uprooting systemic racism. Again, what does systemic racism mean? It means that it's in the system. It's always been there, and it's hard to defeat or something. It's just a liberal buzzword that doesn't really mean a whole lot of goddamn things. Just like patriarchy and approach public safety and emergency response, to rethink that. That doesn't answer a question. That just doesn't mean anything. So there's that. The thought experiment I kind of wanted to address is like when I was talking about, the vacuum. You remove the police, and then what are you going to replace it with? Because once that happens, it's going to go down. There's many cases throughout the world where the police went on strike and all hell broke loose immediately within seconds of that happening. So what do you do? Well, so if you replace them with, like, say, a community watch, well, okay, what policing powers do they have? Are they going to take constitutional, classes? Do they have power to arrest? Well, you don't know that. They're talking about removing it right now. Then what do you replace it with? I have a funny feeling that they have this thing already drawn up in a drawer somewhere. It's in an old dusty file folder. They'll pull it out and go, all right, here's what we do. And I guarantee you that there's going to be people there that are not going to want to be living in downtown Minneapolis. They're going to find other places to move. Would you want to be, like, again, not a fan of police. They are a necessary evil. I hate to say it. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? Let the streets, let the people in the streets run wild? I mean, it's already happening. I guess it is what it is. And in my final story here, From the Daily Caller, I only kneel for one person. Black Georgia state trooper refuses to kneel at Black Lives Matter protest. Thank you. He's not acting like he's not simping to the crowd. I have a respect for this guy. I don't know anything about him, but I have a lot of respect for this cop. A Georgia law enforcement officer refused to kneel for protesters at a Black Lives Matter in Hartwell, Georgia on Sunday. Instead, Georgia State Trooper O'Neill Sadler was recorded telling a female protester that he only kneels for one person, and that's God. Thank you, State Trooper Sadler. Thank you for doing that. The video, which was first posted to Facebook by Rubian Photography, was shared on Saturday on Twitter by students for Trump President Ryan Fournier. Let's hear him. I want to hear this myself because I haven't.
Have any respect. I wouldn't have took. I'm supposed to be out of town this weekend with my wife. I took off today, this weekend, but I'm out here to make sure y'all safe. But don't go there with respect, okay? I have much respect, but I only kneel for one person.
And that's God.
God,
okay. But what about if you
have any respect?
There you go. He wasn't mean. He wasn't disrespectful. He was like, look, I want to keep you guys safe. I only kneel for one person. That's God. Good for him. That's what he said. I have much respect, but I only kneel for one person. God. Okay. While police kneeling or marching with protesters, an act of solidarity has become commonplace as protests sparked by the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis continue to spread across the country and the world, if you ask that. Some protesters considered a PR stunt that does not help their movement. Again, you're not going to, that's the thing, is that you're not going to, the thing is with this BLM movement, they want one thing, and it's not what you think. And I think I'm going to do another video on the BLM and their charter of what they really think. And once you know that, then you know it's not just for Black Lives Matter, it's for systemic socialistic change, if you will. And their language is very suspect. But I'll leave it there. Like I said, the murderer of David Dorn was caught. Thank you. Allegedly murder, but you know what I'm saying. People want to, in Minneapolis, the council wants to defund the police and get rid of them and put some sort of wacky something in there. Yeah, not going to work. And a good cop in Georgia says, I only kneel for one person. That's God. I'm not going to kneel for you because you're not going to, even if I do, you still won't have respect for me. That's great. That's your June 8th news of the day.